This is Toby Keith, a country music legend who sang about American pride and lived life with resilience. But the story behind his final ride, a rugged Ford F-250, holds more emotion than any song. From late-night drives to moments of quiet reflection, this truck witnessed Toby's fight against cancer and final days. It's not just a car, it's a piece of his soul. Fans were left heartbroken when they discovered the story behind his last ride. Early life of Toby Keith. Toby Keith Koval, known simply as Toby Keith, was born on July 8, 1961, in Clinton, Oklahoma. He grew up in a modest home, and his path to becoming a country music star was not straightforward. From an early age, music played a role in his life, but his road to fame was shaped by many life experiences. When Keith was still young, his family moved to Moore, Oklahoma, a suburb of Oklahoma City. In Moore, Keith found himself part of a close community. But it was his family's supper club that had the biggest impact on him. The club, owned by his grandmother, was always full of life, with local musicians performing country and Western music. Keith was fascinated by these musicians and the sounds they created. By the time he turned 8, he had his first guitar. Though he was just a child, music had found its way into his heart. This early start set the stage for the journey ahead. As he grew older, Keith developed another passion: football. In his teenage years, he poured his energy into the sport. At Moore High School, he played as a defensive end and stood out for his toughness and dedication. Football was more than a hobby. It was a dream, and Keith chased it with everything he had. After graduating in 1979, Keith tried to follow his football aspirations, but life took a different turn. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Oklahoma was booming with oil jobs. Young men, including Toby Keith, found work in the oil fields. He started as a derrick hand. It was hard work with long hours, but Keith didn't mind. He pushed himself and worked hard. Soon, he was promoted to operations manager. His days were long, and the job was tough, but he took pride in it. Even with his busy job, music was still in Keith's heart. At 20, he formed a band with friends. They called themselves Easy Money. At first, it was just for fun. They played music at local bars and clubs on weekends. The band performed country classics and some original songs. Keith loved playing with the band, but it wasn't easy. He had to balance music and his oil job. There were moments when Keith would be performing on stage and suddenly get paged to handle work emergencies. He would have to leave right in the middle of a show. This showed how dedicated he was to both his job and his music. In 1982, everything changed. The oil industry took a hit. The economy in Oklahoma, once thriving with oil, began to struggle. Jobs that were once plentiful vanished quickly, and Keith found himself unemployed. With limited choices, he leaned on his football background. He joined a semi-professional team, the Oklahoma City Drillers, playing as a defensive end. The Drillers were connected to the Oklahoma Outlaws, a team in the now-gone USFL. Keith even tried out for the Outlaws but didn't make the team. Still, his time with the Drillers kept him busy and gave him a sense of purpose. He continued to play with Easy Money, keeping music close to his heart. The oil industry wasn't recovering, and his football dreams were slipping away. It was then that Keith decided to take music more seriously. In 1984, he made a bold move. He chose to pursue music full-time. It wasn't an easy choice. His family and friends supported him, but had doubts. They knew how tough it was to succeed in country music. But Keith was determined. Years of balancing work, football, and music had built his confidence. He poured all his energy into performing with Easy Money, taking every chance he could get. Honky-tonk bars and clubs in Oklahoma and Texas became his training ground. Keith and his band played tirelessly, night after night. They got better with each show. Slowly, they gained a loyal following. People loved their mix of classic country sounds and Keith's strong, gritty voice. The band recorded their first single, Blue Moon. It didn't become a national hit, but local radio stations in Oklahoma played it often. This small win gave Keith hope. It showed him that success was possible and pushed him to keep going. Who would have thought that Toby Keith, once playing in small, crowded bars, would become one of country music's biggest stars? His journey was full of twists and turns, but it was only just beginning. Successful music career. Toby Keith's journey from small-town Oklahoma to country music fame is a story of grit, talent, and unexpected luck. Growing up, Keith dreamed big but faced many challenges. He spent years working hard, dealing with rejections, and playing in local honky-tonk bars. There were moments when he almost gave up on music. But in 1993, everything changed. A flight attendant, who was a fan of his songs, handed his demo tape to Harold Shedd, a key executive at Mercury Records. This simple act started a chain of events that would change Keith's life. Shedd was impressed by Keith's sound and talent. Soon, he offered Keith a record deal based on that demo. Later that year, Keith released his debut single, Should Have Been a Cowboy. The song quickly climbed the charts and reached #1 on the Billboard Country Singles chart. It connected with listeners and became one of the most played country songs of the 1990s. Keith's self-titled debut album went platinum, cementing his place in country music. With this first hit and a strong debut album, Keith finally achieved the success he had chased for so long. He didn't stop there. Keith kept the momentum going with his next albums, Boomtown in 1994 and Blue Moon in 1996. Each album built on his earlier success, proving that he was more than a one-hit wonder. Boomtown brought Toby Keith more success, with hits like Upstairs Downtown. The album went gold, while Blue Moon reached platinum status. This confirmed Keith's place as a rising star in country music. Songs like A Little Less Talk and A Lot More Action and Wish I Didn't Know Now showed his ability to create songs that audiences loved. Keith's deep voice and relatable lyrics made him stand out. His music mixed honky-tonk energy with real-life stories, connecting with fans on a deeper level. But in 1999, his career soared even higher. He released How Do You Like Me Now?, an album that would change everything for him. After leaving Mercury Records and joining DreamWorks Nashville due to creative disagreements, Keith took a risk. This decision turned out to be the right move. The album's title track, How Do You Like Me Now?, stayed at #1 for 5 weeks. It became a fan favorite and pushed Keith further into the spotlight. The album reached double platinum status, proving that Keith was now a leading figure in country music. Keith's charm and big personality also won fans outside of music. He appeared in TV commercials for companies like Telecom USA and Ford, showcasing his humor and relatability. This exposure helped him reach new audiences beyond country music. After the tragic events of September 11, 2001, Keith's song, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, The Angry American, became an anthem. The song resonated with people looking for a sense of pride and strength during a difficult time. Toby Keith's song, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, The Angry American, made him a strong voice in country music. It showed that he wasn't afraid to share his beliefs, even when it stirred up debate. This boldness, paired with his talent, solidified his reputation as an artist who stood firm in his values. In 2005, Keith took a major step by starting his own record label, Show Dog Nashville. This move allowed him to have full control over his music and career. The first album he released under his label, White Trash with Money, continued to dominate the charts. It also showcased his newfound freedom and creativity. Keith didn't stop there. He ventured into acting, starring in the 2006 movie Broken Bridges. This role showed another side of his talent and added a new chapter to his career. Not only did Keith take on acting, but he also began producing his own albums. With Big Dog Daddy, he proved that he could handle everything himself, shaping his music just the way he wanted without outside input. This hands-on approach kept his music true to his style. His fans appreciated this authenticity, which helped him stay relevant through the years. Keith's courage to take risks, both in music and business, kept him ahead of the game and solidified his legacy as one of country music's most enduring stars. But beyond his career, Toby Keith's personal life held its own beautiful story. His journey of love and dedication is something that deserves to be shared. Ready to hear more about Toby Keith's heartwarming love story? Let's dive in. Wonderful love story of Toby Keith. Toby Keith and Trisha Lucas have a love story full of dedication and shared dreams. It all began in the early 1980s. Toby was working in the oil fields by day and playing music in honky-tonk bars at night. Trisha was a secretary at an oil company. Toby was 20 years old when they first met, and Trisha was 19. They saw each other at a nightclub, and Trisha later said that Toby's charm and confidence made a strong impression on her. That first meeting sparked a connection that would last a lifetime. They dated for 3 years before getting married in 1984. From the start, Trisha played a big role in Toby's life. His dreams of becoming a musician were still far away, but Trisha believed in him. When the oil industry in Oklahoma began to struggle, Toby decided to focus on his music full-time. This was a risky move for their young family, especially with financial worries. Despite the uncertainty and doubts from others, Trisha stood by him. She chose to support his dream instead of pushing him toward a steady job. Trisha's support was more than just words. She believed in Toby's talent and passion when others didn't. For Toby, her unwavering faith gave him the strength he needed. He often said that Trisha was the rock that helped him build his career. She wasn't just there emotionally, she helped with practical matters too. Trisha managed their finances and supported Toby's career decisions, making sure their family stayed on track during tough times. Over time, as Toby Keith's career grew, Trisha's role expanded. She became more than just a supportive wife. She helped manage their business, especially when Toby started his own record label, Show Dog Nashville, in 2005. With Trisha's help, the label became a success. It gave Toby the freedom to control his music, produce albums, and manage other artists. Trisha's sharp business skills helped bring stability and independence to Toby's work. Despite her big role, Trisha liked to stay behind the scenes. She focused on being a mother and wife. She raised their 3 kids and kept the family grounded while Toby traveled and performed. Toby's commitment to family was clear when he legally adopted Trisha's daughter, Shelley, from a previous relationship. They later had 2 more children, Crystal and Steelen. Crystal followed her dad into country music, while Steelen chose a path in business. Life wasn't always easy for them. Trisha could have chosen a simpler life, but she adapted to Toby's busy and unpredictable schedule. While Toby toured and performed, Trisha managed the household and supported their children's goals. Toby often spoke about how thankful he was for Trisha. She believed in him when others didn't and stayed loyal through all the ups and downs of his career. Their story is built on love, trust, and shared sacrifices. Through the challenges, Trisha's support was steady, and Toby's gratitude never wavered. It was this strong bond that helped them create a life full of love and success. As their family grew, Trisha stayed strong. She balanced her time between helping Toby with the business, caring for their kids, and doing charity work. She spent time supporting causes that mattered to their family. Her caring and giving nature showed just how much she valued both her family and her community. Toby showed his love for Trisha in many ways, both at home and in public. Known for being charming, he always found ways to keep their relationship fun and full of life. In a 1991 interview, Trisha joked that while Toby often surprised her with flowers, she sometimes preferred practical gifts, like a new dress or a night out. They led busy lives, but they made sure to find time for each other, keeping their connection strong over the years. In September 2023, just months before Toby passed away, the couple attended the People's Choice Country Awards. Toby was honored with the Country Music Icon Award. As he stood on stage, he thanked Trisha with heartfelt words that brought her to tears. "You've been riding shotgun with me for a little while," he said, reminding everyone of the deep love they shared. It was clear that their bond was a big part of Toby's success. In their spare time, Toby and Trisha enjoyed simple things. They liked to play golf together, even if neither of them claimed to be great at it. It gave them a chance to relax and have fun. When they weren't playing, they watched golf tournaments, enjoying peaceful moments away from the spotlight. Toby Keith's life is proof that hard work and staying true to yourself can make dreams come true. His journey from a small-town boy to a country music icon shows how dedication and determination can lead to lasting success. Achievements of Toby Keith. Toby Keith is not just known for his country music, but also for his hard work and giving spirit. Over the years, he has earned many awards that show his talent and impact on country music. Keith has won several major awards. He received the Academy of Country Music ACM Entertainer of the Year Award in 2002 and 2003. These awards showed how well he could connect with fans and put on amazing performances. In 2005, he won the Country Music Association CMA Award for Music Video of the Year for As Good As I Once Was. This song proved he was one of the top artists in the industry. Keith's success went beyond these awards. He was nominated for and won other honors at the American Country Awards and the Billboard Music Awards. His albums did very well too. Many reached platinum or multi-platinum status, as recognized by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA. With over 40 million albums sold worldwide, Toby Keith is among the top-selling country artists ever. Aside from music, Keith ventured into business. He opened a restaurant chain called I Love This Bar and Grill. Fans enjoyed visiting for good food and a country music vibe. Toby Keith also started his own record label, Show Dog Nashville. This allowed him to have full creative control over his music and help new artists start their careers. Beyond business, Keith is well known for supporting U.S. troops. He has taken part in over 300 USO tours, bringing music and joy to military members around the world. This dedication earned him the Spirit of the USO Award in 2014, showing just how much he values uplifting service members. Keith's charity work is inspiring too. He founded the Toby Keith Foundation, which helps children fighting cancer. One of his most important projects is the OK Kids Corral in Oklahoma City. This place gives free housing to families of children receiving cancer treatment. It shows how much he cares about giving back and supporting those in need. In his personal life, Keith values family and strong morals. He aims to be a positive example for his children, teaching them hard work and dedication. His wife, Trisha, and their children have always been at the center of his life. He believes their love and support have made his achievements even more special. However, even with all his success, Keith faced unexpected health struggles. How did he deal with these challenges? And what does his battle with cancer teach us about his strength and willpower? Battle with cancer. Toby Keith was loved for his music and the happiness he brought to his fans. But in 2021, his life changed when he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. The news was shocking and came with many challenges. It was a hard time for Toby and his loved ones, full of fear and uncertainty. It reminded everyone how fragile life can be when faced with a serious illness. In 2022, Toby told the public about his fight with cancer. He shared that he had gone through chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery over 6 months. Despite the struggles, he stayed hopeful and looked forward to recovering. He assured his fans he would be back on stage, eager to see them again. Stomach cancer, also called gastric cancer, can start in different parts of the stomach. It often begins where the esophagus meets the stomach. Dr. William Che, a gastroenterologist at the University of Michigan Health, said the treatments Toby had are common for advanced stages of this cancer. Early symptoms, like indigestion or stomach pain, can be hard to notice, so many cases are found later. Toby's first public appearance after his diagnosis was at the People's Choice Country Awards in September 2023. By December 2023, he was back performing to a full crowd. His 3 shows at the Dolby Live venue in Las Vegas were sold out, showing that his fans' love and support had not faded. His return was a sign of his strength and the hope that he would keep fighting through every challenge. At the People's Choice Country Awards, Toby Keith spoke about his health. He said, "I feel pretty good." He described his cancer battle as a roller coaster with ups and downs. Despite this, he stayed hopeful. During the event, he performed "Don't Let the Old Man In," a song that fit his fight against cancer. At an NBC pre-show event, Toby shared more about his journey. He mentioned how important it was to be back performing. At first, he kept the details of his prognosis private, but shared that his treatment included chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery for at least 6 months. Stomach cancer can sometimes be treated if caught early, but it is often found in later stages, which makes treatment harder. In June 2023, Toby shared good news. His tumor had shrunk by 1/3, and his blood tests looked better. By December 2022, Toby was hopeful. He said he was only weeks away from his next scan and expected more progress. He admitted that treatment was tough, but kept looking forward with hope. Sadly, Toby Keith passed away on February 5, 2024, after a 2-year fight with stomach cancer. The loss of Toby Keith was felt by many: his family, friends, and fans who loved his music. A statement on his website read, "Toby Keith passed peacefully last night, surrounded by his family. He fought his fight with grace and courage. Please respect the privacy of his family at this time." Toby spent his final moments surrounded by loved ones. His wife, Trisha, who had supported him through every moment of his life, was by his side. Their bond, which started in high school, stayed strong to the end. His children were there too, sharing stories and memories that reminded Toby of all the joy he brought into their lives. Even though he is gone, Toby's legacy as a talented musician, a devoted husband, and a loving father will be remembered. His brave battle with cancer has inspired many. He wasn't just known for his powerful voice and songs. He was also admired for his love and the strength he showed during his fight. Even in death, Toby Keith's lessons and the love he shared continue to echo in the hearts of those who knew him. His last chapter, marked by resilience, became a powerful symbol of the unyielding spirit he carried throughout his life. The last car Toby used. When we think of country music stars, we picture them on stage under bright lights, surrounded by fans. But behind that fame is a personal story full of memories, challenges, and the vehicles that carried them through it all. For Toby Keith, one of country music's most loved artists, his last car was more than just a way to get around. It represented his life, career, and struggles. Famous for songs like "Should Have Been a Cowboy" and "As Good as I Once Was," Toby was always seen as a man of the people. His songs connected with fans everywhere, and his down-to-earth nature made him even more special. During his career, as he traveled to concerts and events, the car he drove said a lot about who he was. Toby's final car was a sturdy Ford F-250 Super Duty truck. Known for its power and toughness, it matched Toby's style perfectly. The F-250 is a truck that stands out for its strength and reliability. It is popular with farmers, workers, and those who value hard work and grit. This made it the perfect vehicle for Toby, who was not only a musician, but also a businessman running restaurants and a record label. For Toby, the Ford F-250 was more than just a car. It was a symbol of his life and values. It reflected his love for simplicity, strength, and resilience. Every dent, scratch, and mile on Toby Keith's truck told a piece of his story, both personal and professional. It carried him through years of hard work, chart-topping songs, and moments of reflection during his battle with cancer. In that truck, Toby felt a sense of comfort. It was his space to think, recall memories, and reflect on the path he had taken. It was where he could remember the highs of his career and the times when life tested him the most. Inside the cab, Toby would often listen to music. Sometimes it was his own songs, bringing back memories of recording sessions and performances. Other times, he played the tracks that had inspired him throughout his life. The truck's interior became his mobile, creative space. It was there that new lyrics came to mind, or ideas for future shows sparked. The truck wasn't just a vehicle. It was a moving reminder of his passion and dedication. The truck's roomy interior also made it perfect for long drives with loved ones. It was where he and his family or friends could have long conversations, share stories, and laugh. These moments were precious, bringing a sense of warmth and home wherever he went. It was a place where his tough public persona softened, showing the man behind the music. Toby's choice of an F-250 truck highlighted his pride in American values. He chose a vehicle that represented strength, resilience, and tradition, qualities reflected in his music. The Ford brand stood for reliability, just as Toby had proven to be a dependable voice in the world of country music. His truck symbolized his support for local craftsmanship, embodying the hard-working spirit that he admired. In his final years, that truck became even more significant. It was more than a way to get from one place to another. It was a piece of Toby's life, a reminder of the fans who cheered for him and the family who supported him every step of the way. The truck was part of his legacy, much like the songs that made him famous and the values he stood by. It symbolized connection, perseverance, and the journey that defined Toby Keith's life. Driving through the wide, open landscapes of America, Toby Keith experienced the scenery that fueled many of his songs. The rolling hills, quiet back roads, and endless highways became a backdrop for his thoughts and creativity. In those moments of solitude, the hum of the engine and the view out the window reminded him of why he started his journey. The truck was not just a means to an end. It was part of the story. It witnessed the milestones he achieved and the struggles he overcame, from his early days in honky-tonk bars to the bright lights of sold-out arenas. The truck played an even more profound role during his battle with cancer. It represented his fight, a symbol of his determination to push forward despite the odds. Each time Toby turned the key, it was a small act of defiance against the illness that tried to slow him down. It was a way for him to keep moving, to feel a sense of normalcy and strength. Even on the days when he felt tired or worn out, driving reminded him of the importance of resilience and the value of enjoying life, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The F-250 also held memories that were dear to him. It was a space where he could reconnect with his roots. Whether it was singing along to classic country songs or sharing stories with friends and family during long drives, the truck embodied the simple joys that Toby cherished. It was where he thought about his family, his fans, and the legacy he hoped to leave behind. Those miles on the road became moments of reflection, looking back on all that he had accomplished and thinking about what still lay ahead. Even after Toby's passing, the legacy of his last truck remains. It is filled with the stories of a man who never gave up, who fought bravely and lived fully. Fans will remember the image of Toby Keith behind the wheel, driving down winding roads, creating melodies that spoke to the heart and told stories of love, struggle, and triumph. His last truck was more than a vehicle. It was a companion on his life's journey, holding memories of the highs and lows, and serving as a powerful reminder of his unbreakable spirit. This truck, like his music, will always be a part of Toby's story. It represents the road he traveled, both literally and figuratively. For fans, it's a symbol of his dedication, his fight, and the joy he brought into their lives. It's not just a car, it's a piece of Toby's legacy, a testament to the man who poured his heart into every mile he drove and every song he sang.